Hello, I am Dr. Tuğba Gülebak. I am a nutrition and diet specialist. We will be talking about detox and elimination diets. When we look at it now, conditions have changed a lot compared to the past. The air is polluted, the water is polluted, and the food we eat may be polluted. The stress factor is very high. When we are exposed to so many factors, of course, our bodies also become polluted. So what happens? For example, we dietitians used to say pregnant women must eat fish. But 2 years ago, in a statement published by the British Dietetic Association, it was said, do not let pregnant women eat fish anymore because the seas are polluted. It was explained that fish are rich in heavy metals. Therefore, we can no longer consume food as safely as we used to, or we drink water. We're not sure if there's any contamination in the water we drink due to the bottle we use. We consume animal products, we drink milk, we eat yogurt. But did the milk from this animal end up introducing unnecessary antibiotics into our bodies because of an irresponsible producer who gives antibiotics to animals even when they don't need them, just to prevent them from getting sick? This antibiotic raises a lot of questions in our minds, such as whether it caused the death of the good bacteria in our microflora, that is, the beneficial bacteria in our bodies and intestines. That's why nowadays we feel the need to make small interventions from time to time in order to cleanse ourselves of toxins. Now, of course, people misunderstand detox. How do they misunderstand it? When we say detox, we think it means drinking fruit juice or vegetable juice. It has nothing to do with that. If you come across such a practice, turn around and walk away. Because once again, the British Dietetic Association recently released a statement saying, commercially promoted detox diets are more of a marketing myth than a nutritional reality. That was the headline they used. Why? This is because the process of detoxification is actually a fundamental reality that has been graciously given to us by God. To put it in another way, if we are blessed with a healthy gut, a functioning liver, clear lungs, and strong kidneys, our bodies are already naturally detoxifying themselves every single day through the intricate beauty of God's divine design. Therefore, the first thing we need to do is ensure that these 4 organs are healthy. How do we do that? By integrating the correct principles of functional nutrition into our lives. Along with this, if we need to, we can also do detox interventions at certain intervals. Well, in one study, it was stated as follows. A study was conducted in America, and they observed that 1 out of every 4 people was making an effort to detox. Now, when we look at it, why does our body become polluted? As I said, we are exposed to stress. We consume excessive amounts of food. Obesity is one of the most important health problems of our time. Obesity is a source of inflammation, meaning inflammation at the cellular level. During COVID research, especially in the 2019 to 2020 period when we were most affected by COVID, studies showed this. Obese people catch COVID more easily because obese individuals have higher rates of inflammation at the cellular level originating from obesity. For this reason, these people's immune systems are weaker. Most of those in intensive care are obese. Most of those who died were also obese. Therefore, if we are dealing with obesity today, it already means we need to cleanse our bodies just because of this. Along with this, we encounter many people who experience a lack of social support because instead of communicating with each other, we have now chosen to communicate through our cell phones. We are frequently exposed to noise pollution and also to heavy metals. We use medication unconsciously. Our neighbor says, the doctor prescribed this for me, it worked well for me, you should take it too. But does our body actually need this? How much of a burden does that medication place on our liver? How long will it take for our liver to cleanse itself of this burden? So how can we help our liver detoxify more effectively and so on? We will discuss all of these in our lesson. So when we talk about detox, research shows that those who know how to detox properly and actually practice it are protected from cancer, joint inflammations, diabetes, that is sugar disease, fungal infections, and chronic fatigue syndrome. Well, when I work with clients I follow in my own clinic, sometimes they come to me with various health problems, with diseases rooted in inflammation. As I just mentioned, inflammation at the cellular level opens the door to other health problems. Fibromyalgia, ankylosing spondylitis, and so on. Or like Hashimoto's thyroiditis. If you meet someone and they tell you, I have Hashimoto's thyroiditis, If they mention an inflammation-based disease like this, you should know that there is a stress factor in their life that they are unable to manage. It never fails. It always turns out this way. Therefore, a person first needs to learn how to manage their soul and then cleanse their body. If we do detox correctly, losing weight becomes easier because it's much easier for a clean body to lose weight. You feel more energetic, you sleep deeper and healthier. Since your circulation improves, you are protected from varicose veins and your mental health is preserved because nutrition directly affects your mood. How is detox done? One of the most important things you must never forget while doing a detox is that you should never go hungry. You cannot do a detox by just drinking water and starving yourself. Are there water diets? Yes, there are. Research says that if your blood lipids are high, you should never do a water diet. Let's say you decided to try it. You should not do it for more than 1 day. Suppose you decided to do it for a longer period. Well, the dangerous duration for water diets is 5 days. You should never do it for more than 5 days. But ideally, you shouldn't be starving yourself. Or nowadays, intermittent fasting diets are very popular. Should I follow an intermittent fasting diet? You can, but only if it is compatible with your health parameters. How many hours should I do intermittent fasting? Well, this depends on the situation and your individual needs. There are 16 to 8 protocols, 19 to 5 protocols, and 12 to 12 protocols. Which one should we choose? We will discuss the details of this thoroughly, but if you're going to do intermittent fasting to trigger autophagy, then the literature says you should choose the 19 to 5 protocol. In other words, you should fast for 19 hours and follow a 5-hour eating protocol. During this 5-hour eating window, it doesn't mean you can eat as much as you want. You should only consume a quarter of your daily energy requirement. In other words, you should put your body into partial fasting and you should not follow the autophagy diet for more than 3 days. Because I can define autophagy for you like this. Imagine you are left alone in a deserted room. You need to survive. You need to keep warm and produce energy. There you see a broken chair, a table, and some junk. You say, let me burn these to produce energy. That's what you decide, because the cell also needs to produce energy. It burns various molecules. Autophagy means that when the cell is deprived of nutrients in order to access energy, it starts the process by burning useless molecules. So you burn that broken chair, you burn the junk, and the cleaning has begun. So far, so good. But if you prolong the autophagic process, that is, if you follow a nutrition protocol with very low calories and stay hungry for a very long time, for more than 3 days, then your body shifts from autophagy to autosis. What does this mean? It means that since it can no longer access energy, it also starts to break down healthy molecules. In other words, it's like saying, there was a sturdy table over there. Let me break it and burn it now. I need energy. Similarly, the cell starts to break down healthy proteins and healthy DNA. So you basically pull the pin on cell death. That's why autophagy should only be practiced under conscious supervision. We'll talk about how it should be done. Along with this, when doing detox, you also need to start elimination diets. I'll summarize briefly. An elimination diet means that for at least 2 and at most 8 weeks, you remove 5 foods, 5 food items from your life. So this 2 to 8 week period varies from person to person. We'll discuss the details. Gluten will be eliminated from your life. Wheat, barley, oats, and rye, which contain gluten, will not be consumed during this period. Lactose will be eliminated. All milk and dairy products, that is, all cheeses containing casein, will be removed from the diet plan. In addition, lectin will also be eliminated. Eliminating lectin means that foods like legumes and peanuts will also not be consumed. Therefore, elimination diets first involve removing all of these together and then gradually reintroducing them to the body one by one. During the initial elimination phase, the patient feels much more comfortable. When you add these back into the diet program, the person reports their experience. For example, when you reintroduce gluten, they might say, no, I didn't feel any discomfort at all. If they say this, it means they have no sensitivity to gluten and you can continue. However, if you add casein to the program, meaning you add cheese to the diet and they report discomfort, then you should consider continuing to eliminate cheese for a while due to the person's sensitivity to casein. I look forward to seeing you in our lesson to discuss much more.